Hi, everybody. Welcome to the best you. My name is Kathy Murphy, and I'll be taking you on a journey today of COVID, chaos to calm. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I opened my front door and stepped inside quickly. I glanced behind me. I thought I was being followed. I thought I heard footsteps close by, and my trembling fingers attempted to secure the deadbolt. An eerie feeling came over me, just like I used to have before big fights and riots broke out right in front of me when I was a peace officer. And that feeling ran through every vessel of my bloodstream. I could feel it pumping. And then, bam, the toilet paper I had gotten hit the floor. I moved quickly to the closet containing my safe. I opened it, hands shaking. I saw my weapon, and I began to count the ammo. 1, 2, 3. I counted the rounds again. 1. Really? Only 12 rounds? How did this happen? Heart racing, mind speeding, body trembling. The thought played itself over and over. What could I do to protect my family? I had to figure this out because without enough ammo, I didn't think we're going to make it. I rushed to my computer and searched online ammo. Damn it. None available? If I don't get enough ammo to protect my family, we're never going to be safe. I don't really even like guns, but damn it, everybody's gonna need a gun to protect themselves if the world's resorting to violence already from COVID, merely because of a lack of toilet paper? Suddenly, everything came to an abrupt halt. I saw it, clear as day. I got up, went to the kitchen, and made myself a cup of fresh peppermint tea. Taking it back to my desk, I just felt this sense of peace. I sat down and I began to write a blog. I noticed I had had a thought, one thought. And from that one thought, I had gone right down the rabbit hole big time. Think back to a time you felt a storm of thinking in your head. I mean, have you ever felt like your head just had too much going on? It happens to all of us. I was caught up in my own thinking about COVID and the toilet paper. Oh my gosh, I predicted an unknown future. I felt out of control and unsafe. And you guys, I'm a coach. Here I was a coach. I help people to understand and see for themselves how the mind works so they can live a peaceful, calm life regardless of circumstances. And yet, here I was, right where I helped them to not go into a shitstorm of my thinking. It created fear, panic, stress. And in that condition, none of us has a good experience. And certainly, we don't do our best. Yes, me too. You might be thinking I'm a little crazy, but stay with me a minute on this and see how maybe it's possible that we can go from stress to calm in one thought, and that maybe thought in the moment creates our experience. I had seen the thought for what it was, a scary thought, not a thought I needed to do anything about. So I got up and did what I knew to do next. Because of my awareness of the truth about how we create our life experience through thought, I had noticed myself feeling the reality of what was actually just a bunch of scary thinking. And that scary thinking sent me into fear, panic, stress. I had had a scary thought. One thought. The feelings occurred and they were real. When a circumstance or event happens to us, we believe it makes us feel a certain way. COVID happened to all of us. If our assumption that our feeling and experience of life is created by an event, then of course COVID caused us to feel fearful, panic, stress. COVID occurred. You may also have felt fear, stress, anxious, worried, and likely thought that COVID is what caused the feeling. Give me a yes in the chat if any time since COVID, like me, you experienced some of these feelings. Wow, look at those answers. Of course you experienced that. Me too. It felt scary. But when we're able to be aware that the fear, the first feeling that kicked the rest into motion, only came from a thought, one thought, a scary thought, we can see how feeling fear no longer has to send us into panic, stress, and worry. When we are not acting under the influence of these kind of thoughts, we do better and do what we need to do for ourselves. Even go and purchase the toilet paper, but calmly. The most beautiful part is that there's nothing you need to do about the thought except notice it. Hard to believe thought really works like this? Like thought in the moment creates our experience no matter what event is happening to me? Let's make it real for you. Are you ready to play with seeing a new reality? It might get kind of scary, but for now, just go with whatever comes up for you. Imagine, if you would, that it's several months into 2020. You have this great vision for everything that will come into your life this big year. And then one night, you're sitting on the couch having a cool drink after work. Your favorite TV show erupted. Newsflash, major coronavirus heading your way. Millions will die. You will likely be affected. And no, we have no clue what the virus really is, what it does, and how you can be safe. But here we are, and we're doing our best. What the hell, you say to yourself? We've had a lot of people get sick from the flu before. What is this? Shoot, Corona. What does that mean about my beer too? I kind of like Corona, but maybe now that's going to kill me. And what if we die anyway? What do I do? This just can't be true. It isn't real, is it? And then the TV again blares out. Get to the store now, get supplies. Make sure you have enough toilet paper to last through this pandemic. Many stores are already out of the toilet paper. Go quick, because soon you're going to be locked up in your house. And the thoughts start racing through your head. Toilet paper? Oh, shit. What would I do without toilet paper? I don't know, but I recall one time when I had that thought. It wasn't an easy thing to deal with that day in the public restroom. And really? At my home, my house, my own house, no toilet paper? This for sure can't be right. You jump on your computer to social media. Dang, there it is again. No toilet paper? out of the corner of your eye as you're thinking, oh my God, it must be true. Social media says so. The TV blares out. Another break in your program. Updated news flash. Millions will die. Fights are breaking out in the stores over toilet paper. And symptoms are getting worse. There are not enough respirators. The stock market has crashed. The economy's falling apart. More people are dying. Oh, don't go outside your house anymore. Nothing is open until we don't know when. How's your tension now? Any stress? Any worry about the future? Do you feel it building in your body? Feel into the feeling and experience whatever it is. Let's check in with our feelings. Write down one word in the chat that describes how you feel right now. Wow, look at those, you guys. Fearful, stressed, anxious, worried, nervous. All a variety of feelings, all human and all so real. Those feel real, don't they? Do you believe now that the circumstances created the feeling? It sure feels like it right now, but you guys, we're not at that point in time now. How does this work then? As a human being, there's a chance that most of us have lived unconsciously under the influence of our thoughts most of our life. Now, this doesn't mean there's anything wrong with anyone. Nobody needs to judge it as good or bad. It's just a result of a BFM, basic fundamental misunderstanding about how life really works. The BFM is that our feeling and experience is created by our circumstances. But instead, what if thought in the moment creates our experience? Think of how you felt as the news flashes came in. You couldn't help but feel some stress, right? Was it COVID? Was it the news? Or was it the thinking about it? Let's get more curious here. There's a second BFM that causes us to believe what we see creates a feeling, an experience. And that is the BFM that our mind works like a camera. We believe our mind works like a camera. We see something happen outside of us and we feel a certain way. That feeling is real. And then we believe we must do something to fix it and make it better. And for sure, if our mind does work like a camera, this makes sense. We try to fix our circumstances and believe if we can fix them, life will get better. Did I say fix the circumstances? How has that worked for you in your life? Would you say it feels hard or easy? Frustrating or peaceful? I don't know. We've been trying a lot, but has anyone been able to fix COVID yet? What if all you had to do was to see how our mind really works and you didn't need to fix anything or work hard to change the feelings? Would you want to see what would be possible then? Let's take a look at what I see and see if it can help make it more real for you too. I noticed that some people panicked over toilet paper and others, they didn't even go get any. How is this possible if the mind is a camera? For me during COVID, people, well-meaning people, told me what I should and shouldn't do. But what they said didn't make sense to me. How about you? Did people tell you things that you didn't do because it didn't make sense to you? And did you try to help anyone in life during COVID so far? I mean, help, like you saw something you thought would help someone and then you suggested they would do it. How'd they take that? One example would be wearing a mask or not. That's caused a lot of controversy so far. We try to help, truly, because we see something we think would help others. And yes, I do it too. I did it a lot more until I saw they do not see what I see. How can they look at what I'm saying as a choice when they don't see it and it makes no sense to them? The things suggested to you and the things you may have suggested to others made no sense to them because we all see our own reality. And all of our realities are different. About 7.7 billion realities in the world now. It is because our mind does not work like a camera. It works like a projector. I see that even when I played the same scenario for you all in the above journey back in time, you all felt something a little bit different. So where does the different happen? If we are seeing the same COVID life movie, why don't we see it the same? It's the projector. The projector is what makes us all see a different reality. The movie of our life as we live it, before it plays on the screen in front of our eyes, has to go through us. It starts in our mind, the universal mind, the divine mind, and filters through our consciousness, the place where we have awareness. Then it flows through us as thought. Thoughts flow through, and we have the gift of creating our life from these thoughts. We make them into form of a thought that we take in. I always knew life was kind of made up, but I never understood or saw what it really was. How true it was, with a capital T everywhere, until I bumped into my coach and mentor, Michael Neal, who guided me and pointed me to the truth of something Sid Banks discovered and called the three principles: mind, consciousness, and thought. What I saw through their teachings and continue to explore and see more of daily was mind-blowing. You guys, what comes out on our screen of life is thought that we've put our attention into. It takes form for us and we feel it. Our feeling is real. And then it creates experience of the event. Thought, feeling, experience. We felt like we had a reality problem with COVID, toilet paper. And in reality, what I see now is we just had a thought problem with COVID, with toilet paper, and yes, me with the ammo thoughts. You have no choice over which thoughts flow through. Thoughts come from the mind, the universal mind. They go through your consciousness, which can be at various levels each moment. And then they come to us as thoughts. As they flow through, we feel them for a period of time. But that period is short when we allow them to flow through. Also, new thought flows through each moment when we allow it, which would mean that thought will always be replaced by a fresh thought, providing we don't mess with the process. And the same for a feeling. A fresh feeling will come as a result of a thought. Thought creates a feeling for as long as we give it energy. Did you experience any stressful feelings when you heard the news flash above? You did. We saw it in the chat. We all felt it. But how can that not be? We are not in that scenario right now. We were just playing with it for fun. How can it be you felt it, even though we were not in it? We were together in a story, a true story, but it's a story. How could that have created your feelings? Our mind does not distinguish between what is happening now and what is just being thought of now. Both create our feeling and our experience in the same way. Thought in the moment creates our experience. It happens in the moment. Let's take a couple moments and become aware of how many thoughts flow through our minds. Notice only, and let's see what we see. Guys, ready? Okay, begin to notice. Stop. How many did you notice? You may have had a head full of thinking. You may have only had a few. It doesn't matter. I would bet you had some thoughts, more than one. What if this is true? I mean, really true, capital T, true, that thought in the moment creates our experience. What does that mean? It means that while we cannot change what happened to us in the past in terms of circumstances, we can only continue to experience if we put our attention and thoughts on it. It means that if all we had to do to no longer be a victim of our past was to see that it is thought that would be replaced by new thought if we allowed it to, then it would not take years to work hard and struggle to leave it behind, to leave our story behind. What it means is not only can we experience the past on thought alone, but we can make shit up anytime and experience that as real in the present. Once it's a thought we give attention to, the feelings are real for us. Sometimes they are awesome feelings and sometimes they suck. Thought in the moment creates our experience. If this gift of thought applies to our past and our present, might it also apply to our future? Let's get real on the implications of our gift of thought. As we take a final step on our journey together here, we're going to see how we can reimagine a different future with one thought. Imagine you're on the couch again. You have a cool beverage in your hand. You're watching a TV comedy, and there's an interruption. Newsflash. While we don't know quite how it has occurred, COVID-19 is no longer a problem in the world. The new global economy has already begun flourishing. Millions have returned to even better jobs, built more serving businesses, and fresh, wholesome food is available everywhere to everyone. It's amazing to see how, for the first time ever, all countries are working together and bringing services to all in our world. The healing the planet did during COVID continues to improve as we're now developing ways for us all to live sustainably in harmony with nature. The biggest civil rights movement has resulted in everyone having, for the first time in history, equal rights, real equal rights. On top of that, everyone has access to health care. There is a feeling worldwide, as you now walk the streets, that you cannot even put words to. But in some way, you feel total peace of mind. The world doesn't look the same as before. It feels different, fresh, new. Choice and possibility are appearing everywhere you look. You fall back into the couch, take a sip of what feels like the best drink ever. And now we're at the last rest stop. I would love if you could put in the chat how you're feeling now. Wow. Look at those feelings, you guys. Feel it. Peaceful. Calm. Like a miracle occurred. You are all feeling that, right? Everyone their own feeling. But what you felt, you really felt. It felt real, didn't it? And I even told you we were going to reimagine something. So it was made up and you felt it. Dang, it happens. Look at the chat, you guys. It works that way. It is real. The feeling is real. You felt a certain way, but it is not caused by what is happening right now. It's caused by your thinking about what's happening in our future. Our mind does not know the difference, and therefore we don't know the difference. We don't know if it's made up or real. Perhaps then it's true. We don't know the difference between what we imagine for the future and what is real. No one else sees what we see. In this scenario, again, everyone felt something different, thought something different, but all of it feels real. Is the future occurring right now for you? Or is it because you were thinking about it? Is it possible that what you heard in that news flash created a thought in you about the future and you felt it when the thought came in? Huh. Take a curious look. Has anyone else had any scary thoughts about our future, still in COVID from here forward? When we make up a future, have you noticed it's usually not a good one? My guess is most of us are already experiencing, even planning and doing things to not allow that scary future to happen, even our COVID scary future. You may have thought while I was talking that what I said wasn't true or was true. And it doesn't matter. Either way, it created a feeling in you. If so, noticed or unnoticed, there was a thought before the feeling. If so, it is possible then that thought in the moment creates our experience, even of the future. we notice the feeling. And really, even pointing out to people that there's thought behind it, I always find people then immediately wanting to change it. But what I have seen works the easiest is to not do anything about the thought other than notice it. Yes, you heard that right. Not do anything about it. When we run into trouble noticing thought is when we try to fix, reframe, change our thinking, because it's essentially messing with the perfect system. The system of the mind is designed to send thought from the universal mind through our consciousness and into thought that flows through us. If we put any attention into a thought, it becomes a thing in the form of a thought, and even trying to fix them. We are going to feel it for as long as we are putting our energy into it and focus on it. So we invite those thoughts in. We can try to make ourselves change our thinking. But when we're trying to make ourselves think what we aren't thinking, it gets hard, because then we have a lot of beliefs under them that are still there. But if all that's needed is to allow fresh thought to flow in the moment to us, and that can take away the belief under it, why would you need to try to work hard and make yourself change the thought? We think we must manage our thoughts, and living in that, we can live in constant struggle. Basically, because we're trying to fix something that isn't broken. Remember, it's just a BFM, basic fundamental misunderstanding. And we can do life that way, but that way requires hard work, often constant work on yourself. But what if you really saw, that you don't need to work on yourself for thoughts to change? When you know that thoughts just do what thoughts do, and that this gift could rid you of your past and allow you to live fully in each moment and go on to reimagine your future, would you really keep working hard at trying to change the thought? Or would you want the easy way? I coached people all my life, but when I studied to become a certified coach, I trained for years to learn what I thought would help me help other people to fix, change, reframe, and even rewire their mind. And then one day, through my studies, teachings, and insights my teachers pointed me to in the 3 principles, I saw it. There was nothing anyone needed to do except to be pointed to the truth of who they are and how life works. It did not need a technique or strategy to fix, because the mind was already a perfect system. Mind, consciousness, thought. Thought had been the missing link for me all my life. And thought, learning about thought, brought my life together in a way I could also point people to. And this time, the easy way. I no longer help people to fix what is actually not broken in themselves, but they see it's already a perfect system. In pointing people here, when they see it for themselves, everything in their life changes. All the problems they thought they had fall away. They quit working hard and they move ahead with ease and grace. Curious about what the implications of this idea, that thought in the moment creates our experience, could do for you? What if it gave you choice and possibility where you haven't seen any? What if it gave you hope? What if you could, really could, choose to let go of all the things that no longer serve you just by allowing thought to flow? What would that mean to you? To get real, it means that if you feel like crap, you don't have to worry about it because you're going to feel it for a very short time before that thought behind it is replaced with something else, something new, a new thought, new feeling, providing you do nothing about it but notice it. It means that you would no longer let your fear stop you because you wouldn't be afraid of what you felt any longer. You would know that the fearful feeling was from a thought and that would pass on its own when you allowed it. How you do it is by noticing that when we feel a certain way, it's just a result of the quality of our thoughts at the time. Nothing to judge ourselves about, overthink about, and nothing to do about it. Thought will go and flow. And when it does, it gets replaced by a new feeling without any effort, but rather ease and grace. My feeling, my state of mind in that ammo experience went from panic to peace. I went from stressed out to calm. And my fear was replaced with a new curiosity. It happened when I recognized the thought for what it was and did nothing about it. The thought that came to me, reminding me it was just my scary thinking, seemed to come out of nowhere, which is actually where our wisdom comes from. But it happens when we do as I did and try not to take it over, make it think a certain way, make a tool, fix it, but rather we go on to whatever feels like it's next for us. For me, it was making a cup of tea and writing. You may be able to understand how it worked for me just by hearing what I experienced and by playing together here. You get it logically. It now makes sense to you because what I have shown you about thought is it is possible that one thought in the moment creates your experience. But the real gift of thought can be seen through insight. And when you see it for yourself inside you, how it works as true, capital T, true, you never need to look at it another way. True is true always. What I have shared is what I have seen as true for me. I've also seen it be true for my clients in their own way when they see it. Our life experience goes from fear, panic, stress, worry, anxiety, and hard work to peace, calm, joy, ease, and grace, no matter what the circumstances we are in at the time, even COVID. My hope is that in our time together, you got a glimpse of what may be possible for you to create a different life experience without hard, but easy, just by being aware of thoughts and the role they play in creating our experience with us doing nothing but noticing them. Thought in the moment creates our experience. I have been so passionate about sharing this way of living with ease and grace with others that I have created a special Insta Shift Your Truth coaching program. It takes you beyond understanding into seeing more for yourself, how it really works. You will see during the 4-week program that you can let go of your past, be present in your life now, and reimagine a future with new ease, grace, and peace, no matter what circumstances you find yourself in. This program is a 4-week journey with me as your personal guide, one-on-one coaching, videos, worksheets, and everything you need to see for yourself an instant shift into your reimagined future. If you're feeling like, dang, like, what if this shit is real? Like, what could that mean for me? This is for you. And you are likely ready to go deeper into this with me. Make it your real. If this is you, type your name and email in the chat. I'll send you more information and a special show discount. If you're on the fence about moving ahead with anything else, I would love to offer you a complimentary session to help you to see more and then move ahead on your own or sign up for this, whatever you see to get your own wings. If this is you, type your name and email in the chat, and I'll send you a schedule. We can book a call. If moving ahead is not for you, that is great too. Not everyone's ready to change, and not everyone is ready to do life the easy way. If you go to my booth at the Best You Expo this week, you will find a free gift for you. If you do not visit the booth or are listening to the recording of this, visit my website and you'll find a free gift from me for taking time to listen to this talk today for yourself. I have a female client, 38 years old, who came to me struggling with daily panic attacks. She could hardly get through a day of work, family tasks, and even on medication, nothing worked for her. She had been dealing with it for 20 years. She tried every program she could get her hands on and didn't know where to turn. Together, we co-created a new life for her, where she now sees who she really is and how life works. She started by seeing thought for what it was. Thoughts about the anxiety, the past anxiety, the present, and what her future would be. She still has the thoughts occasionally, but she no longer fights them, does anything about them, takes no medication, and they pass. She said even COVID has been easy, even though in her management role, she's now doing 3 other people's jobs. She's homeschooling 2 teenagers and 1 younger child and keeps the family going. Yet, she says she has never had such peace in her life. She remarks often that she feels life is too easy at times, so simple. Would you like to have a life that felt too easy? We are all living in COVID. We're going to be knowingly or unknowingly recreating our imagined future as we look ahead. Remember, it's a choice. It is a choice. Only the thoughts you put energy into will stay with you for some time. Notice and choose wisely. I hope today has piqued your curiosity for you to continue to notice and take a look for yourself in whatever way you're drawn to see if thought in the moment creates our experience. I thank you for showing up here today for yourself, for me, and I appreciate your willingness to play with seeing something new. Our time here today is over, but I'll be available on the link in the chat and in my booth for the next hour to answer any questions or hang out and connect. Thank you to my team, Laura Burns and Sandy Tomlin, who've been on this journey of the talk with me. They'll be joining us in the room as well. You can also find me on Instagram at We Are Rising Tides and my website, wearerisingtides.com, both in the chat. Thank you for showing up, for you here today, and for playing with me. I love you all. Goodbye.